Hello everyone, today we'll start with stoichiometry. So what is stoichiometry, and we'll see its importance in a chemical reaction. Now before dealing into stoichiometry, I'm just quoting an analogy with over here. So if you need to make some cookies, when baking cookies, a recipe is usually used. Now when you need to make cookie, you need to know the recipe, which tells us the exact amount of each ingredient. If you need more, you can double or triple the amount. Thus, a recipe is much like a balanced equation. So if you are increasing the amount of the cookies, you will increase each ingredient, and that ingredient increased should be in a particular proportion, just like a balanced chemical equation. Now again coming back to stoichiometry. Now stoichiometry is defined as the calculation of the quantities in chemical reaction based on a balanced equation. So you're defining, it is basically the calculation of what? Of quantities in chemical reaction. And how do you get? Based on a balanced equation. And there are four ways to interrupt a balanced chemical equation. Now in four different terminologies, you can interrupt a balanced chemical equation in terms of mole, in terms of mass, in terms of molecules, and in terms of volume. So the first way of interruption in terms of particles, that is, a particle, an element is made of atom, a molecular compound is made of molecule, ionic compound are made of formula units. For example, in this reaction 2H2O plus O2 give 2H2O. So how do we tell? Two molecule of hydrogen combined with one molecule of oxygen to give two molecule of water. So molecule is the particle over here, so that with respect to that we are telling. Another example, 2Al2O3 gives 4Al and 3O2. So two formula units of Al2O3 forms 4 atoms of Al and 3 molecule of oxygen. Similarly, 2Na plus 2H2O give 2NaOH plus H2. That is 2 atoms of Na combined with 2 molecule of water to give 2 molecule of sodium hydroxide and 1 molecule of hydrogen. So in terms of particles we are representing. Second, in terms of mole, the coefficient tells us how many mole of each substance. Now if you take this reaction, 2Al2O3 gives 4Al plus 3O2. So we can tell that 2 moles of Al2O3 gives 4 moles of Al and 3 moles of O2. Or here you can tell 2 moles of Na gives 2 plus 2 moles of water give 2 mole of NaOH and 1 mole of H2. So a balanced equation is a molar ratio. Now third is in terms of mass. Now to tell about mass, now first I know 2 moles of water react with 2 moles of hydrogen combined with 1 mole of oxygen to give 2 moles of water. So 1 mole hydrogen is equal to its molar mass, that is 2 gram. So 2 mole will be equal to 4 gram. So 4 gram hydrogen combined with 1 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of oxygen is 32 gram to give 2 mole of water, which is equal to 36 gram. So here in terms of mass, the conservation of mass is applied, that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So you can tell that in place of 2 moles, I can tell 4 gram of hydrogen. In place of 1 mole of oxygen, I can tell 32 gram of oxygen gives 36 gram of water. Now, in terms of volume, in volume, first of all, at STP condition from mole concept, we know 1 mole of any gas is equal to 22.4 liter. So you can tell 2 mole. So 1 mole is 22.4. So 2 mole is 2 into 22.4 liter of hydrogen combined with 22.4 liter oxygen to give 2 into 22.4 liter of water. So you can state that 2 volume of hydrogen combined with 1 volume of oxygen to give 2 volume of water. Now, the next thing that we will discuss is how to convert 1 mole of one chemical substance to another substance mole. So mole to mole conversion. Now if you need to know mole to mole conversion, you need the balanced chemical equation. For example, 2Al2O3 gives 4Al plus 3O2. That is 2 mole of Al2O3 produces 4 mole of Al. So if I tell 1 mole of Al2O3 will give how many Al? 2 mole give 4 Al. 2 moles of Al2O3 give 4 moles of Al. So 1 mole of Al2O3 will give 2 moles of Al. Or you can tell 2 moles of Al2O3 gives 3 moles of O2. So 1 mole of Al2O3 will give 3 by 2 moles of O2. So each time we use 2 moles of Al2O3, we will also make 3 moles of oxygen. So 2 moles of Al2O3 upon 3 moles of oxygen, or 3 moles of oxygen upon 2 moles of Al2O3. These are the two possible conversion factor to use in the solution of the problem. Now, mole to mole conversion. How many mole of O2 are produced when 3.34 mole of Al2O3 decomposes? तो 2 मोल Al2O3 डिकम्पोज होते हैं तो 3 मोल्स ऑक्सीजन मिलते हैं, तो 3.34 मोल डिकम्पोज हो रहे हैं Al2O3, तो कितने O2 बनेंगे? दैट इज 3.34 into 3/2 which is equal to 5.01 mole of O2. So it's very simple. This is stoichiometry. With the help of one substance you can find other substance mole. Now these are the practice problem. You can note it down, these problem. Answers are given in the bracket. Try to find it out. And few questions I'm still elaborating ahead in this video. Now, what are the steps to calculate stoichiometric problems? The first thing is correctly balance the equation. Then convert the given amount into moles. Set up mole ratios. Use mole ratios to calculate moles of desired chemical. Then convert mole back into final unit. So these are the basic steps that you use to find the stoichiometry. I hope it's clear. First balance the equation, then write the given amount in moles, step up mole ratio, use mole ratio to calculate moles of the desired chemical, convert mole back into final unit. Now we shall see another example. Calculate the amount in gram. So you need to find the amount in gram of what? Of O2 required to completely burn 640 gram of sulfur completely. So you have sulfur S completely burns, that is you require O2, and what do you get? SO2. So this is the equation. Is it balanced? Yes, it is balanced. So from the balanced equation, what can we tell? 1 mole of S reacts with 1 mole of O2 to give 1 mole of SO2. And 1 mole of sulfur has a mass equal to its atomic mass, which is 32 gram. And 1 mole of oxygen has a mass 32 gram because of its molecular mass. And 1 mole sulfur dioxide is 64 gram. So we can say that 32 gram oxygen is needed to burn 32 gram of sulfur, or 32 gram of sulfur requires 32 gram of oxygen to completely burn. So if you are having 32 gram sulfur, you require 32 gram oxygen. So 640 gram of sulfur requires X gram of oxygen. Now what is that X? Let's see that X. So you can tell 1 mole of sulfur is 32 gram, 1 mole oxygen 32 gram, 1 mole SO2 64 gram. So 32 gram S needs 32 gram O2. So 640 gram S will need how many gram of O2? 32 into 640 divided by 32, that is 640 gram of O2. So from one amount you can find the quantities of the other substance. So that is stoichiometry. Second question. 6.50 gram of Al reacts with excess of oxygen to form Al2O3. How many gram of Al2O3 is formed? So 4 Al plus 3 O2 give 2 Al2O3. So aluminium combined with oxygen to give aluminium oxide. So 4 mole of aluminium needs 3 mole of oxygen to form 2 mole of Al2O3. And now it is given in mass, and you need to find the amount also in mass. So you need to convert mole to mass. 1 mole of aluminium is equal to its atomic mass 27 gram. So 4 mole of aluminium is equal to 4 into 27 gram, that is 108 gram. 3 mole of oxygen, 1 mole O2 is equal to 32 grams, so 3 mole is 3 into 32 gram O2. And 1 mole of Al2O3 is 102 gram, so 2 mole is 2 into 202 gram. So 108 gram aluminium needs 96 gram oxygen to form 204 gram of Al2O3. So 6.5 gram aluminium will form X gram of Al2O3. So 108 gram Al produces 204 gram of Al2O3. So 6.5 gram will produce X gram of Al2O3. So what is X? 204 into 6.5 divided by 108, which is 12.27 gram of Al2O3. So this is stoichiometry. With the help of the term, this equation, if you understand, you will understand the concept. If 10.1 gram of Fe are added to a solution of copper sulfate, how many gram of copper would form? So 2Fe, the equation is given, 2Fe plus 3CuSO4 give ferric sulfate, Fe2SO4 the whole thrice plus 3Cu. That is 2 mole of Fe produces 3 mole of copper. 2 mole Fe produces 3 mole copper. 2 mole of Fe is equal to 2 into 56 gram Fe, because the atomic mass of Fe is 56, so 2 into 56. 1 mole of copper has an atomic mass 63 grams, so 3 mole is 3 into 63 gram. So 2 into 56 gram Fe produces 3 into 63 gram of copper, so 10.1 gram Fe will produce X gram. So what is this X? 10.1 into 3 into 63 divided by 2 into 56, that is 17.04 gram of copper. Next, how many liters of methane at STP are required to completely react with 17.5 liter of oxygen? So methane react with oxygen to give carbon dioxide and water. So 1 mole methane needs 2 mole of oxygen to give 1 mole CO2 and 2 mole of H2O. So 1 mole at STP has 22.4 liter. So 1 mole of methane is 22.4 liter, needs 2 into 2, 22.4 liter of oxygen. So 22.4 liter methane needs 2 into 22.4 liter of oxygen. We can also tell 2 into 22.4 liter of oxygen needs 22.4 liter of methane. So 17.4 liter oxygen needs X liter of methane. X is equal to 17.4 into 22.4 divided by 2 into 22.4, which is 8.7 liter of methane. So in terms of volume also you can find the stoichiometry. Next is calculate the volume at STP of O2 required when S640 gram of S is completely burnt to form SO2. So again the same equation as in the first question. 1 mole of SO2 react with 1 mole O2 to give SO2. So 1 mole O2 is 32 gram, or 1 volume, which is equal to 22.4 liter. Need 1 volume of O2, which is 22.4 liter. So 32 gram sulfur react with 1 mole oxygen to form 64 gram of sulfur dioxide. So 32 gram sulfur needs 22.4 liter of oxygen. So 640 gram sulfur needs X liter oxygen. So here gram and volume relation. 32 gram sulfur need 1 mole O2. 1 mole is 22.4. So 640 gram of sulfur will need X liter of oxygen. So X is equal to 640 into 22.4 divided by 32, which is 448 liters. Next. Now we shall discuss next limiting reagent. The reactant, now this is a reagent, limit means to stop. So the reactant whose amount is less than required by the balanced chemical equation, or with the chemical compound which is completely consumed during the reaction, is known as limiting reagent. So if you are having two reactant, one of the reactant in according to the balanced equation has to be in correct amount, but if it is not in correct amount as required by the balanced equation, so due to the less amount of one of the reactant, the reaction won't go 100% in forward direction. So the reactant which is present in less amount or which stops the reaction is called as limiting reagent, and other substance now is an excess as compared to the first one. So the second substance which is left unreacted is called as excess reagent. Now consider example, H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. So if we have 1 mole H2, we require 1 mole of Cl2 to form 2 mole HCl. So if you are having in lab 1 mole H2 but 3 mole of Cl2. So from balanced equation we know 1 mole H2 needs 1 mole Cl2, but we have 3 moles. So we know that only 1 mole of Cl2 is to react. 2 mole of Cl2 would be left unreacted. So H2 is in less amount because 1 mole Cl2 needs 1 mole H2. So 3 mole of Cl2 would require 3 mole of H2, but we have only 1 mole. So 2 mole of Cl2 is left unreacted. So Cl2 is excess reagent and H2 is in less amount. That is why all the 3 Cl2 moles are not being used. So H2 over here is the limiting reagent and Cl2 is the excess reagent. So that depends on the amount that is given to us in the desired question. So limiting reagent is the reactant whose amount is less in amount, and the reagent which is in more amount and is unreacted is excess reagent. Now when you have limiting reagent, with respect to limiting reagent only the product would be formed, because from this equation you know 1 mole H2 gives 2 mole of HCl. So if you have only and 1 mole of Cl2 gives 2 mole of HCl, but you are having 3 mole of Cl2 but you are not giving 6 mole of HCl, you will get how many mole of H2 are still given? 1. So how many mole of HCl is to be formed again in this it is only 2 mole HCl because 2 mole of Cl2 is unreacted. So when you have limiting reagent, the amount of product depends only on the amount of limiting reagent. Now let's discuss the problem related to it. Now calculate the amount of MgS formed when 2 gram magnesium react with 2 gram of sulfur. Now from the equation you can see Mg plus S give MgS, that is 1 mole Mg react with 1 mole of sulfur to give 1 mole of MgS. 1 mole of Mg is 24 gram, 1 mole sulfur is 32 gram, 1 mole of MgS is 56 gram. So we can see that 2 gram magnesium needs X gram of sulfur. 24 gram needs 32 gram of sulfur. So 2 gram magnesium will need X gram. So what is X? 32 into 2 divided by 24, which is 2.66 gram sulfur. But how many gram of sulfur is given to us? Only 2 gram sulfur. But it should be 2.66, but we have only 2. So sulfur is in less amount. So sulfur is a limiting reagent. And now to form how much amount of MgS is formed, we have to use only the amount of sulfur. 1 mole sulfur gives 1 mole of MgS, that is 32 gram sulfur gives 56 gram of MgS. So 2 gram sulfur will give how many gram of MgS? So 32 gram sulfur needs 24 gram magnesium, therefore 2 gram sulfur needs Y gram of Mg. Y is again 1.5, so magnesium यहाँ ज़्यादा दे रखा था, we require only 1.5. So now limiting reagent we have got. Now 32 gram sulfur gives 56 gram MgS, therefore 2 gram sulfur will give 3.5 gram of MgS. So with respect to limiting reagent, we will find the amount of the product. Next, a mixture of 1 mole of Al and 3 mole of Cl2 are allowed to react as given 2 Al plus 3 Cl2 give 2 AlCl3. Now which is the limiting reagent? How many mole of AlCl3 are formed? Moles of excess of reagent left unreacted. So 2 mole Al need 3 mole of Cl2. You are given with 1 mole of Al and 3 mole of Cl2. According to balanced equation, 2 mole Al needs 3 mole of Cl2. So 1 mole will need 3 by 2, that is 1.5 mole of Cl2, but we are given 3 mole. So Cl2 is excess and Al is limiting. So 1 mole of Al needs 3 mole of Cl2. So 3 mole of Cl2 to completely react require 2 mole of Al, but we have only 1 mole. So Al is limiting reagent. Next part is how many mole of AlCl3 is formed? From balanced equation, now which is a limiting reagent? Al. So with respect to that you will form 2 mole Al give 2 mole AlCl3, that is 1 mole of Al will give 1 mole of AlCl3. Next is how many mole of Cl2 is left unreacted? How many moles are we given? 3. How many is used? 1.5. So how many is left? 1.5. So this is the question. A mixture of 3 mole of N2 combined with 5 mole of H2 to form ammonia according to the given equation. Calculate the amount of ammonia formed and limiting reagent. So I hope you can try this question, and further we shall discuss in the next class.